I'm not buying anything Square-Enix ever again. Hey, what's up gamers, I'm Meinos Kaen and this is Gameology 88, where I talk about all things video game industry. I was planning for a different subject for this first episode, but unfortunately Square-Enix took that choice away from me. Let me tell you about Final Fantasy Type 0. It's an action RPG developed by Square-Enix for the PSP in 2011. And what do you know, unlike other Fabula Nova Crystallis games, this was actually a good one, even with BGZB Nomura involved. Everyone loved it in the East, who got to try it in the West loved it too, people were hyped, so of course Square-Enix never thought about releasing it for the Western market, even after declaring that he had a fully translated script ready. Thankfully, a fan of the series, named Sky, took it upon himself to start a fan translation project of the game. It took him years of effort, but it finally went live on the 9th of June. But just a few days later, at the E3, surprise! Square-Enix will bring us an official English version of Type 0, except not for the audience that demanded it. It won't be a PSP game, it won't be a PS Vita game, it will be a digital PS4 and Xbox One download. Now, if that was the end of it, I wouldn't be here ripping printed logos of the game in front of a camera, would I? Last Friday, the translation patch disappeared from Sky's site. He made a small post about it, not giving names or exact reasons why. But knowing Square-Enix's track record with fan projects, like the famous Crimson Echoes case, everyone immediately thought Square-Enix C&D. Except on Reddit, a person says that he managed to talk to Sky personally. He didn't give any details about his situation, but he let intend that this is something much worse than a simple cease and desist, and that's the reason why he's not allowed to give any details yet. So let me hazard a theory, a conjecture, if you will, out of the information we have at our disposal. Square-Enix may be about to take to court a person over a fan translation. If it sounds crazy, it's because it is. The most valid theory seems to be that Sky's crime has been including in the patch art-subbed versions of the game's cutscenes, which counts as re-releasing Square's property, and that's why they may be taking it to court. Not because he claimed it as his own work, not because he tried to make a profit, because the man thought that gamers would like knowing what the hell was going on with the stories they played. And since they wouldn't be able to get the kind of money they'd ask for out of a single person, Sky could be facing the hypothesis of jail time, because Square-Enix wants to make an example out of him. This is insane. From all angles, including and especially the business angle. Do you even know what PR is, Square-Enix? Do you? It's that little thing that decrees whether people deem their money and time worthy of you. It hinges on the quality of your products, but also on whether you're acting like a bag of handbells or not. Summing up everything going on with this debacle, you put out a good game, for a change, you decide not to give it a Western release for 4 years, even if you already had the script translated, then, after finally deciding for a release and not for the people who wanted it in the first place, you could be taking this devoted fan, a fan of your game, Square-Enix, who took it upon himself to do what you weren't doing, and bring him to court? And you think people would stand for this?
Square-Enix, get on with the times! Every modern marketing school will tell you this. Customers aren't little piggy banks only anymore! You can't treat people like this! Especially gamers! We're not a simple target demographic! We're a culture! We're socially, emotionally and economically invested in video games. We have our journalists, we have our conventions, we have our TV and internet shows. Gamers carry freaking YouTube on their shoulders!
Do you remember last year when we forced Microsoft to go back on their plans for the Xbox One? Microsoft, Square-Enix, and you're not Microsoft!
You're a company that has been doing nothing but mistakes lately. You release poor excuses for games. You let dust gather on beloved franchises like the Chrono series. You keep Western releases hostage. You stop fan projects. And now, this? And it's not like your mistakes don't have consequences for you. Remember your last annual report? Between 2012 and 2013, you reported nothing but losses, even with the highest sales of the last 4 years. That's telling something. A company in your situation should try something new. Connect with your fans, actually treasure their inputs and suggestions, not keep on acting out of the same illogical fear that somehow led you to believe that people didn't like JRPGs anymore. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that! You're walking a thin line, Square-Enix. The only reason you lasted this long is because of the nostalgia factor, but that's quickly fading too. There's a reason if the people that made you big jumped ship a long time ago. And while I have no doubt that Final Fantasy 15 will sell because of the hype we built around it in the 8 years you sat on it, if it's the game I think it is, I also have a feeling that Final Fantasy 13's rate of returns will look like a breeze in comparison. Good for me, I guess, because I'm not giving you one more penny. If I ever feel the need to buy something of yours, I'll buy it used. My money will go to those poor schmucks that made the mistake of dealing with you. Of course, this is all a theory of mine. We still don't have official words from either part. I could be making a huge soap bubble over nothing. Hell, I hope I am.
Square-Enix, I can understand mistakes, as stupid, as repetitive as they may be, but when you start coming after your own fans because they wanted to make more people able to play your own games, you've crossed the sodding line.
Hey gamers, did you like this video? Then don't forget to let me know in the comments and to subscribe to my channel and or one of my social media accounts to not miss the next one. Ciao!